Yeah, they're a good team. We just knew we had to take care of them on defense. Owen's is a really great post player, and they got a lot of good shooters on their team. We just had to, when we were rushing, I think the communication really helped us out on defense. So that was a big key for us. And then rebounding, last time they really hurt us on the boards, offensive boards. And tonight they started out hurting us, but then we locked it up, and I think that helped us grow a lead in the second half. So those were two big keys for us.
Same Tyler, I have a question for you. Do you think that compared to the first game to this game, do you think that's maybe a sign of the progress for this team?
Yeah, I think so. We're kind of a young team. I know that we've learned from each game. Tonight, I feel like we didn't really put them away like we needed to. And going forward, when we get a lead like that, we really got to push forward. We had some dumb turnovers, and it seemed like we weren't all there at some time. So we just really got to put away teams when we get ahead. I think that's the biggest thing going forward.
Tristan, both you and Peterson really played distinctive roles in this game here. Is that maybe a sign of progress that at this point in the season, both you guys are starting to figure it out? I mean, not that you did clueless before, I don't mean that, but that you are getting more comfortable out there?
Yeah, me and Tyler, we talk, obviously we're roommates, so the chemistry's there, and we talk just before every game, and some games that we've lost this season, the bench points have been down. So we talk about, bringing that extra, what am I trying to say, bringing some points off the bench to help the team out. So we just go out there and do whatever we can to help the team. Our teammates trust us, even though we're freshmen. Sometimes we make our freshman mistakes, but, the older guys, they let us know, it's okay, just, do better. So, yeah.
Tyler Peterson, just talking about how, you led the scoring for the team tonight, how broad and how the next man up mentality kind of came into play today with everybody having a big effect on the game.
Coming into the game off the bench, I was just trying to be aggressive going to the rim. That's what we talked about pregame, love the rim, like the three. So coming in just, Flacco set a lot of good screens for me. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm curling to the basket, getting the ball, and shooting the layup. So it's a team effort for sure.
Yeah.
How nice is it then to have weapons like these two and Brandon and whoever coming off the bench?
It's awesome. Today, I feel like we did a really good job of just sharing the ball. Whatever they gave us, we took. So if they cut off a baseline drive, we swing it again. We had an open shot, and that was when we scored most of our points. And Coach always says that when we swing the ball, we get it moving, we're way better. So we just got to continue to do that going forward. And the freshmen have really grown a lot this season. These guys have continued to have a lot of progress on both ends, and I'm really proud of them. Good job, guys.
Big kick in, that was your last home game?
Yeah, it's tough that this last home game. I just want to thank all the fans and everybody really sticking with us. We had some tough years, and with my injuries, it was a tough experience. But it's cool having guys like these come in the program and really buy in, and everybody seems really bought in this year, and it's just awesome to have this kind of culture. And hopefully we can continue that going forward.
Tristan, how do you approach the next week? Because obviously there's a conference title at stake here, and I know that isn't ultimately what motivates the team. The tournament would be, but there is an opportunity here.
Right. Coach tells us that, towards the end of the season you want to be playing your best ball. And previously, our past two road games, we were able to get W's. But before that, we weren't very good on the road, so we just got to have that road warrior mentality and just go in there. And what Coach also talks about is, sending this guy out, on top. So, that's what we want to do. So we're going to keep doing what we do and try and get these two road wins.
Obviously, significant contributions from all three of your freshmen.
Yeah. Our bench was really, really good. Our freshmen were excellent, but our bench, the first half we had 29, I believe it was 29 points off the bench in the first half. Certainly Hagedorn really sparked us. He played a very good basketball game. Obviously, he goes 4 for 4 from the three. We were really stagnant offensively the first 6-7 minutes, and defensively not great. We missed number 13, I think, had 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession, and that's a problem. And we subbed some guys out, and I thought Hagedorn and Peterson really sparked us on the offensive end and did a great job defensively. And Brandon Armstrong as well had 5 points in the first half. And so those young guys really stepped up to the plate. And then the second half, and the one guy you didn't notice a lot in the first half off the bench was Simpson, but he made up for that in the second half. I mean, he made some monster shots down the stretch of three, that kind of left-handed, I don't know what you call it, but that thing went down, and then he made some big plays for us. So our bench was very good tonight, and that you need that over the course of a year. It's just interesting because our bench is all essentially three freshmen and a sophomore that hasn't played a whole lot of minutes, in his career. So they really got us going. And you're right, Mick, at the end of the day, that was the difference.
Maybe a sign of progress for those guys?
Yeah, I mean, every player is going to have up and downs through the year, whether you're a senior, certainly your ups and downs aren't, freshman and sophomore, you're more, you're like, I don't know what you want to, you're just like this, whereas juniors and seniors, if you do it right, are just generally, you don't get too high, you don't get too low, you get some bumps in the road, but they're not hills, in the road. And so those guys, though, if you look at, Simpson and Peterson in particular, they've been pretty steady for us, I feel like, here the last however many games. You pretty much know night in and night out what you're going to get. Every now and then, a guy, they'll take a step back like, whoa. But those guys, all of those guys, but our team does. We bring it in practice. You know what you're going to get every day from those guys. And when you have that and you know what you're going to get, and they prove that you don't have to always just win the game, but just don't lose the game. And those guys understand their role. They have a great feel of what they do well and what they don't do so well. And so very happy for them.
4 in a row, 6 out of 7. Are there just a couple things that you could point to and say, this is why we've done this?
Well, certainly getting Tyler Flack back has really steadied the ship. He ends possession. He just makes us a better defensive team. He makes us a better rebounding team, and certainly he gives us a guy we can throw inside and feel very confident that we can get some easy baskets or get fouled. So that's, you start there. But with that, when he came back, and I don't think it's a coincidence, it's the back third of the season, and that's generally the time, if you have a good team, where you really start gaining momentum. And that's also the time, generally speaking, when you have a lot of young guys playing, where they just kind of start figuring it out. Because the first third of the season, they don't know what's going on. They're just like, oh, wow, this hotel is great. Like, we get to go in an airplane. Well, I've never been in an airplane. And so you kind of just got to get rid of all that, right? And some guys, when they're young, they approach road trips like I'm on vacation. Wow, the weather in Florida is awesome. And so then you kind of got to get rid of all that. Then you get a stage where, generally speaking, they kind of figure it out at home, and they play a lot better at home. And then you got to get through that part where, all right, you got to figure it out on the road now, and just understanding how to handle things, and it's different. It's different. And so, certainly when we lost to Oral Roberts, we were not good. And we had 2 big wins against Western, and then Flack came back for Denver. Then we go on the road to Omaha, and Omaha played great, but we were just uncharacteristically not good at areas that we're good at. And like we've alluded to before, I think that film session was really just humbling. And I think if you pick a point, like it was like we made up our mind that we want to be a very good team. And sometimes you just got to decide, like, we're going to do this, And since then, we've just had a way better mindset to us daily.
All of these next 2 put yourself in a pretty good position coming down the stretch.
Yeah, we control our destiny. We win every tie break. If there's ties in there, it's a 3-horse race, right, between North Dakota State, us, and Denver. But we can't control all that. All we can control, and I know this is coaches speak, but we haven't even talked about the whole, like, all we can control is let's be our best on Monday in practice. Let's be our best on Tuesday in practice. And then let's play our best on Thursday. And I know it's really cliche-ish, but I've just always been that guy. Like, I'm a process. I firmly believe in the process. I firmly believe in. The other day, Wednesday was our bye, and our women are playing. And I'm at the game, and I'm sitting with Jeremy Cooter, and he's staring at his phone all the time. He's looking at another score, and he goes, "How about that?" And I'm just like, don't tell me. Like, I got enough to worry about. Like, I don't need to stress about what another score is. Like, we have no control over that. So let's just make our guys better. Like, let's figure out what kind of schemes we can still add. What do we gotta? Who can we play more? You know, who needs to tighten up with this, that, or the other? And because that's all that matters. And we hadn't been a great road team, but certainly the last couple games out, we played very, very well on the road. And so we just got to keep our momentum going. We're doing some really good things right now.
Coach, I know you've talked before quite a bit about the next man up mentality, but tonight you had everybody rebounding, everybody scoring, and everybody even hit free throws tonight. I mean, can you just talk about how much an all that was?
Yeah, certainly rebounding was a major focus. The first thing we showed them on Thursday, we practiced Monday, Tuesday, took Wednesday off, but we didn't do any film work those 2 days. Just wanted to kind of mentally recharge the battery, and you just hit the floor and had some quick practices and in and out. And so we do a lot of film with our guys individually and as a team. And so on Thursday, the first 13 clips were all of their offensive rebounds at their place because they just big boyed us in a major way. So then we start the game, and 13 either got 2 or 3, I don't remember. I think it was 3. And then the media came, and we got on them pretty hard about that. And then they responded. And that's what's so great about these guys. And I said it, you can coach them hard, and they respond. And that's what good players do at every level. I don't care if it's, 8-year-old baseball or, whatever level. Like, you got to be able to handle coaching in whatever shape and form that you get it. And then the second part was free throw shooting. And I know some things against South Dakota State went a little awry late in the game, but 3 of the last 4 games we shot very well from the free throw line. At North Dakota State, we shot it very well. IPFW, we shot it very well. I think 16 for 17, and then tonight 22 for 27. So, we can do it. It's just stepping up and getting it done. But that's what you got to do to finish off teams, and we were able to do that at home tonight.
I think, was that the first time all season Mooney didn't have a single point before half? But then he comes out and puts up 12 in the second half, or what do you finish with?
13, I think. That's exciting. As we were still up, we were ahead in the first half, and other guys picked up the load, from that respect. So I think that's a sign of a good team when your leading scorer or even top 2 guys don't have necessarily the games that they've been having in terms of the total points, and you can get 5 guys in double-digit scoring and 2 more guys with 7, with 16 assists and 11 turnovers. So we've been very efficient on the offensive end during that run. I mean, again, tonight we're shooting over 50% while getting 27 free throws. And when you can do that, I mean, and our league is so good on offense, it's just insane. But those are really good numbers. So we just got to stick to it defensively. I was disappointed how we defend. I didn't, especially the second half. I mean, 52% from the field, but a lot of that's them too. They can put a lot of pressure on you in a lot of different ways.